How y'all doing today? My name's Zayn, and today's topic of discussion is going to be, how are you all being reeled back into healthy situations? How are you being reeled back into unhealthy situations? Now, when I'm thinking about this, on how you're getting caught up and drawn back into, man, it's a hair, something floating around here. How you getting caught back up into these unhealthy situations. I'm thinking about situations where it's the overall outlook of it is unhealthy, but yet you're finding one thing in it that you may find of a benefit to you, and you're hanging on to all this luggage, and it's a detriment not only to your relationship, because it's becoming unhealthy through the things that you all are saying or doing with one another, or just the overall way that you're acting, the way that you feel after you're left with the interaction that you have with one another. This actually is somewhat of a follow-up to two other videos. I did one on button pushers, how when people push your buttons, they know how to, make you come out of character. And then another one on, don't remember the title of that video because there's a lot of videos on this channel, but it had to deal with, like I said, the overall healthiness of the relationship. What I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about you getting reeled back into them, I'm thinking about you having a relationship, like I said earlier, you're having a relationship, you're trying to do this with the healthiest way possible. You're really seeking or looking to have that, you are looking to have an overall healthy interaction. So you keep diving back into it with the best intentions. But the thing is, the person on the other side, they don't have the same intentions that you have. Whether they're a button pusher, a user, somebody who's manipulative, whatever the case may be. Now, before I dive deeper into this, I'm saying you don't use this as a tool as in writing people off, because relationships are too intricate for us to cover all the different, quirks and things that go up off into every specific relationship, because it's going to be different for every person. Some people, they may have like a long history of things, and it's more than they could tell or reveal in the conversation. And for others, it may be a relationship with a really short time span, and maybe it's not really even a relationship at all. It's just something that you just have an interaction with the person in passing. You just let it go, and you move on. There's nothing lost. So like I said, there's a wide array of the way that these things can fall on this spectrum of what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is, and I alluded this in my other video, I had relationships in my life to where you only could deal with this particular person in this aspect. And what I mean by that is that if I let them know everything of who I am, then it's a lot of drama, a lot of stuff that comes with it that I'm not prepared to deal with. Or I don't feel like having to explain myself, or like I'm trying to justify myself with you. And it puts a real stress or a strain on the relationship. This really unnecessary. And you walk away feeling how you feel, and they're like how they are, because you have some people who are just consistently opinionated about everything. Even when the situation doesn't call for your opinion, you're opinionated about it. We talk about all of that on this channel with people. And the part I'm trying to focus on in this video that I'm talking to you about, we're talking about looking at it as a whole piece of pie. It's a whole piece of pie, and that would be the representation of that relationship. There's a little slither of that pie that is good. So we'll say it's the reason that you may keep a person around, or it's a reason why you may interact with them. But you can only interact with them on that little bit, or that little slither of that pie that you're operating with them on. Because if you take anything bigger, then it'll make the whole pie sour. Everything is just not worthy. It's not worth it, is what I meant to say. It's not worth it. It sours the whole experience, therefore making it unhealthy. Those are the relationships that I'm talking about. Now, we're going to dive a little deeper. that little slither that you're focused on of what you're trying to achieve in that relationship, that's awesome. That you're trying to be healthy, you're trying to extend that, you put your best foot forward. But what we're going to look at is how on the flip side of that, people can use that to your detriment. They're operating in such a toxic capacity that they don't care about that little slither of what you're trying to do as in being healthy. They don't care about that. The only time that they care about that is when it's reeling you back in. You know what? I really ain't even trying to hear on what Ian is saying, but hey, I know that he wants this relationship. I know that he wants to be there for me. So that's the connection with us. That's how I'm going to reel him back in. I got my own game plan. Fine. But since he's hanging on to that little slither, that little slice of the pie, this is how I'm going to reel him in, and this is how I'm going to keep you here. And see, if you don't realize that, and you keep falling for this same piece over and time and time again, this is how you're eating the rest of the pie, and they're eating that little slither. You're eating the rest of the pie that you don't even want, and they're getting the best part. Think about it. This is also key, and when you're dealing with button pushers. This is what I found in my lifetime of dealing with certain family members, certain friends, or so-called friends in the circle, acquaintances, and really the people that I'm talking about, these are the people that know you well enough to do these things to you. Because they have to know you to a certain degree in order to play you. Why is this person pushing my buttons? Man, why they get me so upset? Because they know you. They know how to push your buttons. The question you got to ask yourself is, why am I allowing my buttons to be pushed? See, I was going to call this video a follow-up to Button Pushers Part 2, but it really is. There's so much more than that. Because this can mean so many things to so many different people. On why people don't understand why it's hard to break that cycle of having a toxic relationship or being unhealthy. And that's some of the things that we talk about on this channel. Well, it's a lot of the things that we talk about on this channel. That's what my book, Kilimanjaro's The Arithmetic of Family Communication, has to deal with. When you know what you're dealing with, and if you feel that you still have to have that connection, for whatever reason, it's justified up to you or on how you're dealing up with that person. It doesn't necessarily mean cutting them off. It's dealing with them in a way that's both healthy for you and them. And I've said this in other videos. Just because you find a healthy way of dealing with it doesn't mean that they think it's the most ideal way. Because keep in mind, they're trying to get whatever they're trying to get. I'm quite sure they're not going to be pleased with the way that you're handling it. When you're finding a healthy alternative that's best for you and them. Because I can assure you, your healthy alternative is going to be either dealing with them less. How are they going to like that? When I'm used to being able to just call up and infringe on you anytime, or whatever minutia that I'm bringing to you. Wait a minute, you're not available now? I have a problem with that. Well, you have a problem with it, but I don't. That's what I'm talking about. Look at those connections on how people keep you connected to the stuff that you don't want to be connected to. I'm not necessarily talking about the people. There are some people that maybe you might not should be connected with because it's not in your best interest, or your families or the people that's around you. It's not a good connection. I don't know, because I don't know you. But I do know these situations. You have control of you. You have control of your time, which you choose to devote your time to, the drama, the people, what makes for you having a healthy day. You make that call. Other people don't make that call. Sometimes we obligate ourselves when we don't have to, because we're doing it in the name of, I'm just trying to be a good person. I'm just trying to be there for that person. Yeah, you can be there. But you also got to be there for yourself. If it's absolutely critical that you need to be in that person's life, then be in that person's life. Be there in the moments that you need to be there. I don't know what moments I need to be there. Everything is an emergency. Well, okay, we got to evaluate. Am I your guardian? Now, it's different if you don't have the capacity to do this for yourself, and then you're stepping up to the plate, completely different thing. Am I letting you know how you can better handle these things because you're seeking answers from me? If I'm doing that, then I feel that I'm contributing to this relationship in the way that it needs to be done. What are you? Are you just wanting me to resolve your problems? You know just as well as I know, with all the questions that I'm asking in this video, that these aren't the things that these type of people are looking for. A lot of the times they're either looking for quick fix, which means being in your pockets, bending your ear about the same thing that they have no intentions of changing. These are the people that we're talking about. When you just got done dealing with everything that you're dealing with in your life, on your job, and you've taken the high road on all those things, you found healthy ways to deal with those things, and here it is, this connection that I'm trying to have with you. I'm trying to have with you with the same way that I'm handling my affairs and my job, and I'm walking away from this with the best intentions, and I'm really getting a benefit from it. I'm trying to have this up with you, and it's the opposite effect. What's going on there? Why is that like that? I know the reason why I'm talking to this person because XYZ. Okay, but how's the whole overall relationship? How's that whole piece of the pie? Not just that sliver, whichever one. That's my take on it. I just want to take time out to discuss that with you today. If you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on other social media, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. This is where I'm doing the video at. Until next time, stay encouraged. Avoid being discouraged. I'm Ayin. You have a good one.